What's up, you guys? It's your boy Cam. Football frame of mind with another hits or misses video, man. So y'all know the drill. Like and subscribe to the channel. We got a host of stuff, man. Got a draft show coming up for the NFL draft, yeah. So it's gonna be really fun. But like I said, don't forget to like, subscribe to the channel, and it's gonna be fun. I'm telling you, man. You know what you're missing. But today is well, this morning it's raining and everything, but I'm excited, bro. I'm excited about this one, man, because this is my bread and butter, man. Holds a place in my heart, man. No matter how good or bad my team was, man. I really loved my St. Louis Rams, man. Unfortunate that they're not in St. Louis anymore. But to be honest, that wasn't our team to begin with. But they're back where they belong, and quite frankly, Stan Kroenke made the right move, bro. Because boy, they turning SoFi Stadium into a town almost, like a downtown area, sports town, hotels and food and entertainment. It's like an entertainment district now that they're really trying to do. So I can't I can't blame them for that. I don't know if it would have looked that particular way in St. Louis. So with that being said, man, let's get into it, man. So we always say to find out where they are, you have to go where they've been, man. So people forget Jerome Bettis was a Los Angeles Ram. Um, Eric Dickerson was a Los Angeles Ram. They got some good ass players in there. Roman Gabriel. We talked about him with I forgot what team that was. What was that? Damn. Oakland Raiders. Yeah. He was drafted by them. Merlin Olsen was good. Terry Baker. I don't know if he ended up playing with him, but he was the first overall pick. Yep, he ended up playing with him for like a couple years. He's a Heisman winner too. Um, let's see. Tom Mack, Bill Munson, Jack Youngblood played in the Super Bowl with a broken leg. Who cares if it was a hairline fracture? He still played. Let's see. Like I said, Eric Dickerson, uh, Jerome Bettis, right? So they moved to St. Louis in 95, I believe it was. 95. Yeah, 95. Well, yeah, 95. Yeah. So 95 they moved to St. Louis, right? And Jerome Bettis seemed like he played one season there. And we just decided to get rid of one of the best running backs ever, bro. But nonetheless, um, some mistakes were made. Some mistakes were made. But Kevin Carter wasn't one of them. Kevin Carter was pretty good for us, including leading the sacks in 1999 when we won the Super Bowl. So, um, yeah, he was pretty damn good. So that was a hit for us if we was talking 90s draft picks, man. Then we go Lawrence Phillips, man. Sadly, he's no longer here with us. He has some really rough issues, man, and including including a lot of abuse. Ended up getting in trouble in Nebraska as well, man. Like it was just rough, man, for Lawrence Phillips, dog. Unfortunately, and he's no longer here with us. But if you watch his Nebraska tape, bro, he looked like he was gonna be something serious in the NFL, bro. If he could have if somebody could have grabbed him and would have just really just kind of got into his mental health. Like, but this is the '90s, There ain't no talk about that, right? But Eddie Kennison, '96, he was with us for a little bit, LSU guy. So, but some of the key pieces of our team as we got into '99, 2000 ish was Orlando Pace, man. Uh, how many offensive linemen are Heisman candidates? How many? You know, like how many? Like how many Heisman front runners have been offensive linemen, bro? Not many, man. Not many. And he's one of the best left tackles in the game for years, right? '98, we go Grant Wistrom, whose jersey I'm wearing right now. Um, Cold, man. Cold for us, man. Part of a good team, man. Let's see. In '99, we get Torrey Holt, who should be a Hall of Famer, man. In the college football Hall of Fame, though. But I ain't never seen somebody with almost 1,000 catches, 1,300 yards, and 70 touchdowns. Not be in the Hall of Fame. There's people in there with less, to be honest with you. But he's one of the ones, man. He's one of the ones. So, um, but after our initial Super Bowl run, that's when it got a little wicked, man. So obviously we in this run of good seasons where we win the Super Bowl and we got an MVP quarterback, we got an MVP running back, we got Isaac Bruce, we got Torrey Holt, we got Lando Pace at lineman. Like, we got a really good team. I think Kevin Carter is still on the team, so he's a sack leader. We got Drake Bly. Um, yeah, we got Drake Bly, Dexter McCleon. We got a bunch of dudes on the team that are really, really good. So drafting in this particular run was more so building up depth, but not preparing for the future, if that makes sense, right? So 2000, we take Trug candidate. Trug was fast, man. He was fast, small back, but still fast. But for us, he was just kind of giving. He was giving Marshall Falk a break, basically. That's all. That's all he was giving. Um, yeah, he was giving. He was giving Marshall Falk a break, man. Like, so that's all that was. Just a break for Marshall Falk, man. So that's kind of a miss. Because what was you really gonna do, right? It wasn't nothing, you know. But 2001, we had 3 first-round picks, right? Um, yeah, we ended up with 3 first-round picks, man. We take Damian Lewis from Miami. Um, so as like I said, as a defensive tackle, you want people to be available, you want to make some tackles, and if you get them to get some sacks, cool. That's a bonus. So wasn't necessarily like I'm trying to think. So he wasn't like super good, but drafting him 12th, you needed him to really be a stalwart on the team. And it didn't turn out like that. and then it didn't turn out like that. And because it didn't turn out like that, man, um, it could sort of be a miss, but I ain't gonna call it a miss. I'm gonna call it a miss because it was okay. It was okay, man. And then 2020, and then at 20th overall pick, we picked Adam Archuleta. Adam Archuleta was one of those ones, man. He was cold with us. He was cold, man. I don't know what y'all got in Washington, but with us, he was a hitter. He was a hitter, fan favorite, everything. He was good. Good as hell, dog. So, he signed a big money deal with Washington, but when you sign with Washington on their big money deals, it ain't those contracts never age well, right? And then 29th overall, man, we drafted Ryan Pickett. He was with us for a minute, um, and he was actually more productive than Damian Lewis was. Being a later first round pick. So he was productive with us. He was even more productive on the Green Bay Packers, though, getting the Super Bowl with them, man. But he was on our anniversary team because he's one of those ones, man. But 2002, we take Robert Thompson after our Super Bowl that we lost to the Patriots. Um, we take Robert Thomas, man. So I mean, sort of productive, not really, because like I said, we still in that range where we still fighting for the Super Bowl. So we just want some depth. So the fact that he turned out to have some depth and was productive a little bit, this is a hit, especially picking at 31. Okay, so then we get into '03, we draft Jimmy Kennedy, right? He was with us for 4 seasons. Like I said, another depth piece, not really a player that was going to like make a difference on your team, but you would hope so later. But definitely just a feeling piece, right? And not somebody that you had much stock into, right? So then we start to get into the years after, right? Now we in that window. This is 2004, right? We getting into that era where, all right, now it's starting to wear off a little bit. Starting to wear off a little bit. So, all right. So for context for the viewers, right? So 2001, we lose to the Patriots in the Super Bowl. We got the best team in the league, 14-2. It's awesome, right? And then 2002, we don't make the playoffs at all, right? So it's like a little, you know, like a little, chink in the armor a little bit. But '03, we go back, Kurt Warner's not, the starting quarterback anymore. And we go with Mark Bolger, who was actually pretty good, um, if you really want to be honest with you. He was pretty good, dog. I didn't like him when he was playing, but after getting older and maturing in life, I had to admit he was okay. He was okay. Would I still wanted Kurt Warner? Duh. But he filled in pretty good. And, we got to the playoffs and that Steve Smith, man. That damn Steve Smith tore us a new one as I want to say the Panthers went to I want to say they went to, nah, that was '04. But that set them up to go on a playoff run, I think, next year to a Super Bowl. But I mean, now you're starting to see because everybody's kind of getting older. Kurt Warner is not there anymore. I mean, he's not starting anymore. And then everybody kind of wanting to start getting paid now in terms of Torrey Holt because now he done been there a while. It's time for him to get paid. Pace, Leonard Little, Aeneas Williams, hell, even the fucking kicker needs to get paid. And you started to see a little difference, man. The team itself wasn't necessarily good because of those things. And Mike Martz, like I said, he was different than Dick Vermeil. And so when you got a good teams like he had, you gotta do things a little different, man. So, but as we get into like 2004, you can tell we ain't that good. We ain't that good. You know, barely getting the playoffs. Um, and then it was bad, bro. It was bad, man. Kurt Warner was gone. And like Marshall Falk was older then, so like it was bad, bro. It was bad, man. So like you have to kind of put it into context. Now you kind of wish you would have drafted people to prepare yourself for the after effects of this really good run you was on, right? Like there's a Super Bowl within this 90s run, 99, 2001, even 2003 we was really good. But the players we drafted was just kind of fill-in dudes, right? So you started to kind of see, okay, well, Marshall Falk's getting older. So 2004, we take Steven Jackson, man. And I've always said this about Steven Jackson. His best seasons, we were absolutely ass. Absolutely ass, man. So, I mean, 8-8, 2006, they ain't really doing nothing, right? And then I want to say one of these seasons, bro, it was like 15. We was 1-15 or some shit like that, bro. We was straight ass. And he was balling, bro. He was balling, man. So, I mean, you got a running back with 10,000 plus yards and the team garbage. Garbage. And I'm like, yo, what are we doing? You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, Mike Martz was there, and then Mike Martz ended up getting fired early in the season. And then we go into the Scott Linehan era, right? So these are some of his picks and 20, 2006 and everything like that. So like you end up trying to prepare yourself for another run, should I say. So Steven Jackson, you know, kind of was a new era of running back for us. He was really good, but nothing surrounded him. 05, we go Alex Barron. Um, and he wasn't really good, in my opinion. It was more so a let's start to prepare for Orlando Pace getting out of here, right? Let's start preparing for that. And he was okay, but that was it, man. That was it. And that was it, man. Like, yeah, I remember him being kind of a holding penalty kind of guy. Got a lot of penalties, man. But it really wasn't nothing for us. Then '06 we go Ty Hill, who at the time I was like, damn, he fast as fuck. But when I but when I say just because you fast, don't mean you can cover. And that's exactly what happened. He was only with us for 3 years, and I don't remember that shit. I mean, the first season was okay, and then after that, he was gone. He's with Atlanta. I remember when he left to go to Atlanta, and I was like, okay. But he had everything in terms of measurable speed, athleticism. He was good as fuck. But it just didn't work out, man. And then '07, we not terrible because we picking 13, but we drafted Adam Carricker, right? Nebraska. We went back to the well trying to get some good players from there. And he was not wasn't that good either. So you ended up with a lot of dudes on the team that's not necessarily doing much, right? This is Scott Linehan is 2-13. I mean 3-13, I mean, and then '08, 2-14. And then we started to kind of get our act together, right? '08, we take Chris Long, right? You know, Chris Long with us was one of the ones, man. He was the ones that gave me hope that we was gonna be good. And oh boy, he was good. He was good, man. Him and Robert Quinn were two of my favorites, bro. And they was getting after the quarterback all the time, and it was good, man. Um, and he was good for us, man. I love me some Chris Long, man. I'm glad he got him a Super Bowl, two of them, because he deserved it, man. He just didn't get no Pro Bowls or nothing because we was ass. So '09, man, we end up taking Jason Smith, man. So I'ma just be honest with you, it was ass, bro. It was ass, man. It was ass, man. He was gone in 3 seasons with us, and he lost his job to like a dude who was picked after him in Roger Sappho or something like that. So he was out of there. All right, so you thinking, all right, man, we got Chris Long, man, uh, and then we was asked again in '09. I forgot, or did we move up in that draft? Either way, it was 1-15. That's the year. I want to say the only game we won that season was against Detroit. Yep, and I think Detroit went winless that season. Or no. What season was it? One of those seasons they went winless, man. Yeah, oh wait, okay. so so yeah. So yeah. So we was ass, bro. We was ass, man. But I kind of wish we wasn't ass that year because I kind of wanted us. I kind of wanted Matthew Stafford, bro. To be honest with you. But nonetheless, though, we end up in 2010. You're thinking, all right, we got Chris Long, we got Jason Smith, so we got two players that are young that we think like, okay, they're gonna be the future of the team, right? So we need a quarterback. We ain't had a good one in a while. We're going through the motions with some guys, um, and we got Sam Bradford, man. Um, Sam Bradford was pretty good with Oklahoma. I think that's an understatement. He won the Heisman in '08, and he honestly should have came out the year before. Yeah, he should have came out the year before. One of those years, I forgot which one. Yeah, so he should have came out in '08. But he came back in '09 to, I guess, try to get his draft stock a little better, maybe get a little bigger. Um, but he had messed up his arm a little bit, and so he was just out after that. He ain't do much after that. So he should have just left right after that Heisman season because he was a red shirt sophomore. So he could have. And yeah, it was cool. And then he got drafted by us, man. And as much as I want to say it was cool, it was cool. And that was it. That was it. It was cool, and that was it. Like the first season was good. We went 7-9, and I was like, all right, cool. You know, bet we gonna be all right. You know what I'm saying? So this is the Spagnolo era, right? So Linehan's gone, and Spagnolo's right there. So we needed a quarterback, and I cried. I did. I admit I did because I was like, shit, maybe we won't suck no more. And then the next year we did on the Spagnolo, man, and couldn't score no points. Um, like goddamn, like Spagnolo coming off that Super Bowl with the Giants, he was a hot commodity, bro. Everything, he was good, bro. He was like one of those ones. It's like, damn, you just beat It's like you just beat the Patriots, man, in the Super Bowl, stopped their undefeated season. And yeah, dog, it was like damn, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm like, fuck, we was just so bad, man, under him, man. Ugh, man, it was rough, man, to be a Rams fan around this time, bro. But nonetheless, back to Sam Bradford, man. So the first season had you really thinking, all right, man, cool, the Rams might be back. And then 11 happened, and it wasn't good at all. I think we had the toughest schedule too, and we ain't do that good. And then 12, we should have made the playoffs, but ended up losing to Seattle on like the last game of the year or some shit like that. Yeah, we ended up losing to them on the last game of the year, and that took us out of the playoffs. Right? Had we won that game, we I think we win. We go to the playoffs, right? So like, and then it was a weird season too, because against San Francisco, I remember it was like a tie or some shit, and that shit was just stupid. And I was like, ugh, whatever, man. Like, ugh, man. And then it was back to back seasons where Sam Bradford tore his ACL, bro. Yeah, like he tore his ACL like in the middle of the season, and then tore it again in the preseason. So we ended up getting Jeff Fisher there, and honestly, we showed a little bit of promise after that. I think the biggest problem was we had no quarterback. But one thing you could say about Jeff Fisher though is that the teams was playing. We just didn't have no quarterback, bro. We had no quarterback. Man. You had a lot of good players though, man. But 2011, we get Robert Quinn. Like I mentioned, that run he had with Chris Long, man. Around this time, they was two of they was nasty pass rushers, bro. Like when you came to play with St. Louis, you knew like, all right, man, we better get our running game started because Long and Quinn gonna be chasing us down, man. And a guy to have 100 sacks, man, he was definitely one of those ones, man. So he was an All-Pro, man, Pro Bowler, all of that, man. So he was pretty good for us, man. Pretty good draft pick. So 2012, we go Michael Brockers, man. He was with us for a while, even in the even went to LA with them. You know, he was a solid player, bro. So I can't be mad at him. I thought it was a good move, good pick. Let's just keep doing it. So then we ended up going two first round picks in 2013. Tavon Austin, I mean, talk about one of the greatest college tapes ever, highlight tapes. They probably watched it a million times. But the problem is we was trying to make him into a one. And he shouldn't have been a one. He should have been something like Percy Harvin was for the Vikings or wherever he was. Or for my old school fans, remember um goddamn, oh man, what is dude's name? Give me a sec. Give me a sec, man. To, goddamn, what is dude's name, bro? Fuck. There we go. There we go. He should have been used. He should have been used like David Palmer was for Alabama. That's how he should have been used. He could have done so much more. He could have done the running. He could have done the passing. He could have done the catching. But they wanted to make him a number one receiver for some reason. And I'm like, dude, he not even tall enough for that shit. One. And then two, his route running wasn't there yet. Right? So you had to make him into something different. Somebody that was actually gonna scare defense, but they wasn't doing shit, man. Like I said, we wasn't doing nothing. We wasn't doing nothing, man. We didn't do right by Tavon at all, man. And then like I said, we went 7-9 under Jeff Fisher, and then 6-10 the next year, and then 7-9, bro. And then after that, 2015, bro, they was in Los Angeles after that, man. And that was it. But before then, we got Alec Ogletree, man. Ogletree was pretty good on that Georgia team, man. And he was pretty good with us too, man. I like me some Alec Ogletree, man. I did. He was one of those ones, man. He was good in coverage. He was good rushing the passer. Good in space, man. He was good all over the place, man. Dude was nice. So that was a hit. Um, I said Robert Quinn was a hit, obviously. Sam Bradford was kind of like, eh. Um, and Tavon was just misused. So he was a hit, but they misused him, man. And then 2014, man, we go Greg Robinson from Auburn. So he was from close to the area where I went to high school, Thibodeau, all of that. So he was cool, man. But that was it, man. That was it. Like I expect him to be so much better than what he was, man. And the fact that he wasn't there much longer than 3 seasons lets you know that that was a bust, man. And it was just bad. You know, whether it be like, I mean, Roger Saffold was like better than all of them dudes, man. Like, and I don't know. why they kept playing with Roger Saffold, bro. I don't understand it. Roger Saffold got 100 starts, man, and in his time with us, right, with the Rams, he done took hella people jobs. Like, so let me get this right. Let me get this right. What I'm trying to explain here. So Roger Saffold, not him, not him, not him, not him, not him. I need Roger Saffold. I need Roger Saffold. Okay. So Roger Saffold, man, done took two top 5 player jobs. So he got to the Rams in 2010, right? So he done took Jason Smith's job, turned him into whatever he is right now. Then he take Greg Robinson's job, right? Because he supposed to draft him to take Saffold's job. And that's it. And Saffold just kept on doing it. He just kept on doing it. And dudes was ass, man. So like Greg Robinson was booty. But then you had a second pick in 2014, and that turned out to be one of the greatest defensive players ever, and Aaron Donald, man. I was like, yo, if we can keep him on the team, we gonna be good, right? But then we get like 2014. That's when kind of all of that start that talk about, hey, they might be leaving. Let's fix the stadium, things like that. So it never really materialized into anything. And of course, as we get into their Los Angeles picks, um, we gotta show what particularly happened that season, man. So like I said, this was the last season in St. Louis, man. We was good there, Super Bowl, things like that, but we didn't make the playoffs enough, to be honest with you, and there we go. So, um, like I said, Stan Kroenke said he was moving the team to St. Louis, to to LA, and that was it, man. Um, that was it. That was it for the St. Louis Rams, man. Um, and that was it. But before we left, man, before we left after 2015, man, we ended up getting Todd Gurley, man. And to this day, Todd Gurley, one of the best running backs to ever play. I mean, 67 touchdowns rushing, bro, in only what is that, 6 years? So yeah, he was trending on a very very good path, but knee injuries kind of took him out before he could really go. And the only reason he slipped in the draft is because he had a torn ACL in college. So that turned out to be real good. So obviously the Rams trade up with Tennessee, and end up getting the first overall pick that year, man. And they first pick in Los Angeles, man, was Jared Goff. Now, with the Rams, Jared Goff was solid. Jared Goff was solid, man. You can't say he wasn't. He got them to a Super Bowl and everything. So you can't really say he wasn't solid, bro. He was solid. And they lost in the Super Bowl. And the defense is struggling. Not his fault, man. But he was solid, bro. He was solid. Um, and they just needed something else. And they end up getting Matthew Stafford. and they get them to a Super Bowl. They win. That's cool. But whatever happened to Jared Goff after that lit a fire under him because he ain't been nothing short of spectacular for Detroit and got him a new contract and he looking like he turning into what everybody thought he was gonna be. Good, hella good. So they hit on Jared Goff. They didn't have no pick in 17 because they traded that for Jared Goff, and then no pick in 18 because they traded for Brandon Cooks, right? And then no picks in 19 because they traded to Atlanta to get more picks. And then 2020 they traded both of those first round picks for Jalen Ramsey, right? And all culminated in a Super Bowl. So they traded all of these picks to go all in for that Super Bowl in 2021. So that's really what happened, man. Or is it 2020? Which one was that? Was that 2020? Who won the Super Bowl that year? That's the draft, my bad. Who won that Super Bowl? Was that 2020? I guess it's better to look at Jalen Ramsey. Let's see. I'm trying to remember. I didn't really care about the Rams, to be honest with you, when they went to LA. But I gotta talk about it because it's part of the damn history. But yeah. So they got that Super Bowl in 2021. But they traded a whole lot of draft capital, bro. Yes, they did. They went all in for that Super Bowl, man. So they had no pick in 2022, 2023, 2020, 2021, 19, 18, or 17. So no first round picks. They said, fuck them picks. Let's go all in. And they did. Traded to get Jared Goff, got to a Super Bowl. Traded to get Brandon Cooks, helped him get to a Super Bowl. And then they traded to Jacksonville to get Jalen Ramsey. And then they also traded, I think, to get Von Miller out of Denver to go all in for that Super Bowl as well. So it worked out. It worked out, man. Matthew Stafford is still there as they try to, I guess, go all in, man. But 2024, they got Jared Verse, man, Defensive Rookie of the Year, Pro Bowler as well. Like he was phenomenal last season, man. And I think me and Brandon was like, man, I think he might be pretty good. And that's exactly what he was, man. And they had him at outside linebacker. So imagine if they actually let him play his natural position in defensive end. So yeah, like if he could get 4 sacks at outside linebacker, imagine how many sacks he can get at defensive end, right? So once we get into 2025, man, for this draft this year, man, they are picking, let's see, Rams are picking 26, man. So they're in range to get a good pass rusher, man. I draft another one and figure out if we want to put Verse at not we, because fuck the Rams right now, because they ain't in St. Louis no more. But if they want to put Jared Verse at end, they can go James Pierce as well. So they got some talent, man. So, but my bad, I went too far back. My bad. But yeah, so shit, I can't really say they hit on nothing, nothing lately, because they ain't picked nobody. But the Rams didn't draft very well, specifically after we won the Super Bowl. After we won that Super Bowl in '99, there was a lot of drafting that went awry, and I think it had a lot to do. I think it had a lot to do with. Yeah, I think it had a lot to do with Dick Vermeil being let go. Before that, that's what I think. Like once Dick Vermeil was let go, um, everything went downhill, man. I don't know what it was about Dick Vermeil, because that was he actually retired. He was a hella good coach in the '80s, and then retired and came back to coach and shit. And I don't know what it was about Dick Vermeil, man, but he got it. And then when he got it, the players got it, and it seemed like they would just run through a wall for him. And once we got rid of him, man, the level of player just changed. Level of player just changed, man. I don't know what it was, but I mean, when we drafted during that era, man, when we drafted through that era, there was a lot of good, bro. There was a lot of good players, dog. Like there was a lot of good players, dog. Like I said, Dick Vermeil was doing all of that shit. He was GM and he was the head coach. So he was just picking the right dudes. Like, I mean, yeah, whatever. But he was picking the right dudes, man. And it was working. Like he took over, I want to say in 97, 96, 97. So yeah, Lawrence Phillips didn't turn out to be what you thought he was. But if you watch the tape, dude was fucking awesome. Like he was good. He just had a lot of issues, man. I mean, you drafted Eddie Kennison. That was a hit a little bit, right? Pace, Wistrom, Torrey Holt, right? Like after that, these are impact players, players that affected you winning a Super Bowl a couple years later, right? And I didn't even get into the other draft picks, but this is just the first round dudes. So if you draft in stupid in the first round, then you probably draft stupid the rest of the draft, which they did after 2000. I mean, you waste a pick on Troy Kennedy. You don't need him. Got Marshall Faulk, right? Probably could have drafted somebody else instead of Damon Lewis, right? Adam Archuleta was a hit. Um, Ryan Pickett was a hit, but Robert Thompson, nah. Jimmy Kennedy, nah. Like, Steven Jackson, you draft him, that was a hit, but that's too damn late at that point. We need a quarterback. Alex Barron was a no. Ty Hill was a no. Respect to Adam Carricker, but no, right? Chris Long, you hit on him, right? But look at how many people you missed on before you actually hit on Chris Long. Jason Smith was a dud, got his spot taken from a third rounder, right? Sam Bradford, right? Nothing. By that time, you ain't even have no offensive line to protect dude, right? I mean, so yeah, just a whole lot of misses in between them leaving St. Louis and going to LA, right? Because when they went to LA, they actually drafted pretty well, right? You get Goff, you get Gurley, you get Donald, right? Alec Ogletree, right? You get some dudes, and even Michael Brockers and Quinn, right? And Long, but they was there already. But in terms of when they left, oh man, they was ready to go. They was ready to go when they left. Like if we could have got a quarterback, like I said, we got Jared Goff before we left. Maybe we would have stayed. Maybe. But I think a lot of those problems were deeper than I think a lot of the Rams' problems around that time was deeper than just football. Like I really think Stan Kroenke wanted to go back to LA, bro. Like flat out. I don't think he wanted to be in St. Louis, man. And it's not necessarily the city, it's just all the marketing aspect of it. Like, you gotta think that was 2015. The luster from 1999 was over. Like, bro, we were disgusting, dude. We were horrible. The product on the field was absolutely non-marketable, bro. And going to LA, man, if you're the owners voting on a relocation, bro, probably a good ass situation to leave. Because honestly, you can be better than that. You could go to LA and be better than that, right? But like I said, I think it was bigger than just football, man. And honestly, I think, like I said, Stan Kroenke really wanted to leave, bro. And he saw the writing on the wall. He's like, man, look, I ain't gonna make no money out here. And took his team, bro. That was his right to take that team and move it. And they did. They did, man. And they got a Super Bowl out there. And now they got like a new city or ballpark village or something like that, bro. They building something nasty out there. And they're gonna have the practice facility like in their community that they building, bro. Like shit. Stan Kroenke know what he doing, man. He own a couple teams. His sons own a couple teams, like professional teams. So, like, he know what he doing. And when they left St. Louis, that shit hurt. But I was like, man, he knew what he was doing, bro. And it worked out, man. So there you go. But nonetheless, man, that has been my soapbox for my St. Louis, Los Angeles Rams, man. Their hits and misses since the year 2000, man. Boy, it was nasty, man. But nonetheless, there was some good in there as well, some mismanagements as well. And hey, the team, not my team, the team is doing good in LA, man. But we'll see y'all on the next one, man. That's it for this one. But we're going to do on the next one. The next team will be the Miami Dolphins. So it's gonna be fun. This was fun going back through memory lane. Some dark times. But this was fun. But we'll catch you on the next one. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel to watch all of my hits and misses, to watch all of our shows, look at our shorts, all of that as we prepare for NFL draft season. We got spring ball wrapping up. We're gonna have fall camp sooner rather than later. And then we get into it, man. So draft recap, live show, all of that. Tune in for it, but also tune into the next episodes of Hit and Misses featuring the Miami Dolphins. So I'm Cam, football frame of mind, and I'll catch y'all on the next one. Peace.